Hi everyone, and welcome to our session for session 6 today at APC College. Today we are doing the topic of work with others to see that the plan is implemented. So today we're going to cover a couple of different areas relating to managing people and bringing in your HR strategic plan into the organisation. So what are the kind of activities that we would do as a business to ensure that the plan is implemented effectively? So first of all, let's reflect back on what is a strategic HR plan. So when we think of the word strategy, we're thinking about the long term. We're thinking about what is our long-term priorities, what is our key actions, and what is our key dependencies between people and the business. We also look at what is the responsibility of people who are involved in the organisation. And we have different levels of people and different levels of responsibility. So for example, in a typical organisation, let's say a larger one, we have the senior roles, the middle level roles, and the ground level roles. So just going through a simple sort of chart of people in the organisation. Let's say, for example, we have the CEO or the director, which provides the highest level of leadership in any organisation. Underneath these roles, we then have our senior managers. So let's see who we have. So we have the HR manager, okay? We then also have finance managers. We may have OHS, or as we call it, occupational health and safety. We may also have, for example, maybe a training manager, maybe a marketing manager, or we might have a PR manager. We also may have project managers. So each of these individuals provide the next level of leadership within an organisation. Below them, we then have our line managers. So line managers are the next level down beneath these ones, and they provide our middle level managers, okay? Middleman management, I should say, who basically then have underneath them our operations managers. So our operations managers are on the ground level, and they look after what are people doing on a daily basis within the organisation. So these kind of managers sort of hide in the offices quite commonly in a business. They then filter down the direction for the organisation. Then these ones filter the message from the top down to the middle level, down to our operations. And then below our operations managers, we then have our employees, okay? Then we have our contractors, okay? And then we have any other parties that relate to the organisation. So what I have in front of you here is a simple chart on the internal customers of an organisation, the internal stakeholders, okay? So a stakeholder, as you remember, is someone who has an interest in the business. So they're someone who basically influences the company, influences how things are done within the organisation. So these are our internal stakeholders. So when we are dealing with a strategic HR plan, we're talking about how do we ensure that we have enough people in these roles, both at the managerial level, but also at the ground level for our standard employees. How do we know that we have enough people available at the right time for the right job responsibility at any time? And it can be, we can look at it at a project basis, or we can look at it on a daily basis, okay? So strategic plan is being able to plan for how we utilize our human resources. Okay, so does that make a lot of sense? So an organisation must effectively have all of these parties, plus the workers underneath, working together effectively to deliver the product or service of the organisation. In addition to our internal employees, we also have other individuals involved in the working relationship within a business. So let's go through those parties now. So we mentioned, for example, the word contractor, okay? So contractors are someone who offers their services to a business. So let's see. So who do we have as contractors? Well, we have obviously staff that will come on a temporary or a project basis. Okay, so often it's short term or time fixed. So this is very common in an organisation which is trying to keep a lean cost model for human resources. So contractors normally command a higher hourly rate. They often are paid on a project basis, so they know exactly what they're getting for a short period of time, as opposed to employees who are contracted as employees on an ongoing basis. So you have your casual, your part-time and your full-time employees. So contractors come from outside the organisation, they're recruited externally, and they're utilised for a set period of time. So for example, if you are a trainer, you may be contracted for say 9 weeks on a set period, and then when the need for your service is to be delivered again, you are recontracted for 9 weeks. Other kinds of people who may be involved in the process could also be suppliers. So your suppliers could be doing anything for a business. They could be, giving simple things like stationery. They could be supplying a service of equipment or materials that you use in an organisation. They could be providing IT services. They can be providing anything. So this is how suppliers work in an organisation. They come in short term again, and they often provide a product or service that is not able to be gained within an organisation normally. So every person has a role to be fulfilled in the organisation. In an organisation, contractors and employees often work together. They have set objectives, they have set guidelines. They often know what their responsibility is. So there's often a reporting chain. So there's a director or a manager responsible for the utilisation of all staff, either employee or contractors. But how long, or the tenure of the worker, is dependent on what is the contract obligations, what did the contractor sign, what did the employee agree to sign, what is the job responsibilities, what's the job description. All these kind of elements influence the utilisation and the need for staff in an organisation. Okay, so basically everybody does have a role to play in a business, and it's whether there is a need for that person and whether we can supply or demand the staff for any kind of project or organisation. Okay, so does that make a little bit of sense in the kind of people we have in our business? So we have employees and we have contractors. And we think about, what are they required to do? When are they required to do things? What is the level of standards, or what is the quality we expect them to provide their service or business? And what is the budget that we have to have them in the business? So when we're talking about budget, let's look at it this way. When we're looking at from a costing perspective, so we have employees, so that's senior level managers all the way down to our ground level staff, versus contractors. So what are we thinking about when we are discussing budget? So we're thinking about what is the hourly rate, what is the salary, okay, per week or per month or per year. We can look at it these ways. Okay, what's that fixed dollar? What is the superannuation that we'd be paying to these staff members? What is the leave dollars? So when we're talking about sick leave, for example, full-time workers have a set number of sick days. They have compassion leave as well. They also have holiday pay. So leave, there's different types of leave involved in employees. We also look at what is the duration that we are contracting someone as an employee itself. Okay, so are they on a 6 months contract as an employee, or are they on a 1 year contract? So what is that duration that we need them, and what is the total cost of hiring them for a business? And then contractors, we look at what is their hourly rate, what is their project fee, Okay, so we set a short amount of cash, I guess, available for a project, and how long will this basically go for. So it's just looking at things from a cost benefit analysis. As a business, we decide, is it better to have someone on a higher project fee or higher hourly fee for a shorter rate of time, or is it better to stretch it out and put someone on a salary? And remember, people who are paid on a salary sometimes do overtime, so that's something you need to consider as well. Are your staff willing to do overtime? Is it covered by their salary and their payment? Would they accept what you're willing to pay them? Because at the end of the day, you need to pay your staff, especially when they are staff, actually real staff. So this is the kind of budget you need to consider. Think of how many contractors do we need to engage on a project, and how many employees do we need to engage. So what is the need for these staff? So this is some areas that you need to think about when you are during the recruitment stage and the I guess recruitment and selection stage of what is your needs, what is the demand for the people in your business. Do you want someone outside to come in short term, or do you want long standing employees? So what is the objective of your organization from a HR perspective? Do you want to retain people? Do you want them to keep on a cycle, keep fresh new people coming through? What is your key objectives? What is your goal as a business to attract staff to the organization? Okay, so this is really important for you to consider when you are bringing together people during the implementation part of a HR strategic plan. Okay, well, I hope that gives you a little bit of information in implementing your HR strategic plan. We'll see you in the next video to discuss a little bit more about working with others. Thank you.